There is a very common theme amongst the lives of everyday Americans. It's at the coffee shop and the mouths of the customers. It's on TV. It's on every platform of social media, in your parents' conversations with extended family members and friends. It's even at school. This, if you haven't already guessed, is politics. Everywhere you go in America, politics are bound to follow. And the underlying topic of conversation in the genre of politics almost always involves the two American political parties, Democrats and Republicans. The biggest problem in the American government, in my opinion, has always been the two-party system, dividing the country between liberals and conservatives. I believe that the two-party system should have been created and should be abolished for the greater good of the American people as well as the entire world. This is because the two-party system, since its creation, has caused unnecessary divide and hostility between the American people as well as reducing individuality. I hope that you, as an audience member, hears this speech with great interest and consideration since it affects you greatly as an American citizen. Okay. First of all, the two-party system has notoriously been a very prominent cause of hostility and divide between the American people. An example of this hostility is seen through general public opinion on Democrats versus Republican violence. According to a survey conducted by PewResearch.org in January 2020, 71% of Americans feel that hostility between the two parties is very strong, and 91% felt that it is strong in general. It is stated in the article that people of both political affiliations feel that based on their real-life experiences and what they are exposed to on social media, political tension between Democrats and Republicans is very high. Also, according to greatergood.berkeley.edu, 24% of Republicans and 17% of Democrats believe that it is sometimes acceptable to threaten the lives of public officials affiliated with the opposite party. Sorry. Another example of the two-party system causing hostility and divide between Americans is a personal experience of mine. On social media and in school over the years, I've heard a lot of slander against people of different political affiliations. This year alone, I've witnessed one student calling another one of his peers a libtard, which is an offensive term for liberal Democrats according to dictionary.cambridge.org, because they stated that they're strong opposition to Trump's presidency. And in that same conversation, that student accused the other one of being racist and homophobic for identifying as a conservative. Of course, neither of these things were okay to say or believe, but it goes to show the divide that the two-party system has created between the people of America. Sorry. As seen in these examples, as well as many others happening in the world and on social media, the two-party system creates a rift and often an automatic hostility between people of different political parties, and this is why the system is toxic and should be abolished. Another reason that the two-party system should be abolished is because it severely reduces individuality amongst the American people. According to peoplepress.org, nearly 55% of Republican voters would rather vote for a Republican presidential candidate with questionable political policies and morals than vote Democrat. And almost 40% of Democrats would vote for a questionable Democrat candidate over Republicans. Another example of a two-party system hindering individuality within the American people is seen in the American government. It's no secret that the American Senate and Congress often make decisions that will appease to whatever political party they are associated with, rather than making decisions that will benefit America as a whole, according to NewYorkTimes.com. The two-party system is stopping our government from making sound, moralistic decisions because there is an ongoing war for power between Democrats and Republicans in the government. Sadly, these are prime examples of how much the two-party system hinders our individuality as American people. Instead of voting strictly based off of policies and morals, many prefer to ignore those factors because of a simple label. Yet another reason why the two-party system needs to be abolished. Okay, now that I have reached the end of this persuasive speech, I hope that you have all enjoyed what was said and considered supporting the abolishment of the two-party system in America's government. To restate, the two-party system should be abolished, in my opinion, because it hinders individuality as well as creating an unnecessary aura of hostility between the American people, which hinders us all, from reaching unity and tackling problems for the greater good of America as well as the world, instead of trying to please, two political parties. And as Americans, it's our job to strive for unity, freedom, and inclusivity, some of those values that this country was built on. Those values will never be truly present in American society if we are allowing a donkey and an elephant symbol to keep us from achieving them. Thank you so much for listening.